Today we are here in Den Helder and we did the first college tour on wind energy. We asked an old man who's very experienced in the field of wind energy, and of course you can imagine that young people can learn a lot of the old men who are working for so many years in wind energy.
Dames en heren, Jos Beurskens.
Yeah, there were quite some young people in the audience. It's always a pleasure to talk with those, because they are very much motivated. They are much less loaded with all sort of negative impacts, which the older generation is referring to. And you can also hear that they lack a lot of systematic background. And this is a perfect opportunity to inform those people about the wider perspective of what we are doing.
In Mexico, good question. We depend on oil. The biggest part we depend on oil. We have hydropower, but wind energy is not an important subject now in Mexico. We built one for a conference of environment. We built it in Cancun. I think we only have one.
But for me, this is very interesting subject, because Korea is developing country. I think the Korea have to develop this kind of energy. So this is very good opportunity to learn about wind electricity in the very developed country.
We need a lot of technical students in the field of wind energy for the future. So when together with increasing companies on this field, also they need a workforce. So we want to have some students specialized to be this workforce in the future.
Today I learned about wind energy with the guys that pioneered in wind turbines.
At home they're not really aware of the huge opportunities of wind energy. So they only think the wind turbines are just spoiling the view or something like that. So yeah, I can really tell them that it's really good, the wind turbines.
Yeah, one of the issues is on the environmental issues. So people have an idea that wind energy is very poor, but if you tell them that not all stories are facts, but also there are many fairy tales, I think that's very important.
Obviously, the wind turbines have a huge environmental impact. A lot of environmental organizations say that the wind turbines kill too many birds. So what are you going to do about that?
First of all, I would like to separate perceptions and fairy tales from facts. But if you take the facts, and with quite a lot of research has been done in this area, the number of birds killed by collision with the blades, it's in general terms, not always, but it's what do you call it, te verwaarlozen. It's I cannot pronounce that word.
Neglectable.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
You know, people are afraid to ask silly questions, but there are no silly questions. Only the answers could be silly.
Maybe a stupid question, I don't know. But why are windmills always white?
White?
Same color. Why don't they adjust the color to its environment?
I don't know. No, but I have some. In Germany, you can see the enercons, which have a greenish tower foot. So, and the reason for that is that they blend better in a landscape. But you know, it's from my background, I'm a technical person, and I always love to associate the modern wind technology with aircraft technology, and they have all sort of fancy colors. And I would like to see that the wind turbines were also that, but the majority of the people doesn't like it. Well, it was quite interesting. Normally you give a lecture and then you hope for questions, and you don't have a clue about how much of your speech is received by the audience. But in this case it was just the other way around, and give you much more freedom to talk about your own experiences than when you have a pre-cooked lecture.
So, well, it's a new way to go if we talk about get people involved in wind energy, because maybe you know, but we have a lack of young people who like to go into the business and who like to go in the technical field of wind energy. So we have to attract them with nice stories, good looking and acting people. Said, well, it's a marvelous job to go in wind energy, not only onshore but also offshore.